Welcome back. In this video, we're going to go over how to add form fields to your in-house sign documents. Here we're working with a template called test proposal. We are currently in the in-house sign builder. The in-house sign builder is built on top of the Inhouz Cloud app builder, which gives you the power and the ability to create the dynamic, data-driven in-house sign documents or in-house sign e-signature applications. To drag and drop a form field or form element, all I need to do is go into the Elements tab. We're going to drag and drop a text field. So this is a text field. If I click on it, I can see that it connects to an app data field called text field 2. Let's just assume that I want this to be a user's, call it, let's just say something generic, first name. All right. I couldn't think of anything better. All right, so this is the first name. It's required. And all right, let me just go over here to app data. As you can see, we have nothing referencing first name. Now, when I begin to type in here, oops. If I go back over here to my data, I can see that first name, the first name field in my app data is now binded to my form elements. So this is how you drag and drop and create form fields on the page. So now obviously the goal of a form field is in an e-signature document is to have someone actually fill this field. So here you get to assign it to a role. In our document, we currently have 2 roles, the boss role and the employee role. So this, when it becomes an e-signature document, will be a recipient. Okay, and here we can assign this to that role. So now this input will only be fillable by recipient with the boss role. Now, because this is required, a user will not be able to submit this document unless this form element has been filled, right? And you can add some extra dynamic logic. You just watch the video series on the Inhouz app builder where we go over how to build an app. All those rules that apply to building apps apply here as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, let's go back over here. I can drag another element. Let's say this time around I want to drag a date sign. Just drop that over here. And I'm just going to say this is for the boss as well. So this is a non-filled field. I could connect it to some data. I could call this signature date. I'm just going to say this is maybe boss signature dates. All right, and this is just whenever they're filling this up and trying to submit it, that'll be the dates that will come in here. I can drag another element. Let's say, let's do something, I guess, perhaps a little complex. So let's do checkbox. You can drag and drop a checkbox. Let's clean up some of this styling. Let's say we have no overflow on any direction. Perfect. Get rid of some of that scroll. Assign this to the boss. Let's connect this to some data. So let's say that this is car type. All right, it's cool. So we have one checkbox that's car type for the boss. Let's put the value here as Honda. And then we have another one. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to cheat a little bit. Instead of dragging and dropping another one, I'm just going to select it. I'm going to say, I'm going to hit Control and right to duplicate it. So I have a duplicated copy that I'm just going to drag and put it over here. So I have my second checkbox. And here I can basically just change the car type to, let's say, Toyota. Okay. So now if I were to click on this checkbox that with Toyota and I go back to my app data and I scroll down, I can see the car type is Toyota. And if I were to click on checkbox 1, I can see now that the car type is a Honda. And again, if I click on it again, I should be able to clean out the car type entirely to now an empty string. And this could also be required. And when it is required, a user has to fill up the car type field, right, in order to submit this document. So if if you wanted to like learn how to use form elements, we have a whole series of tutorials on form elements in the app builder video series. The same rules that apply there apply here. Now there are some form elements that exist exclusively within Inhouz Sign. For example, the initials, the signature, the text field, and the date sign. These form elements are exclusive to Inhouz Sign. So let me just drag and drop the signature, which is, perhaps one of the most important ones. And here, it's just like everything else. You get to assign, assign it to a role. And we let you preview it, by the way. Cool feature. So you can preview and see what it looks like. So that when you're designing, you can come into the CSS builder and get that pixel perfection. So if you wanted to see, okay, I want this to be 15% here because let's say I want it to fit a certain space, and I can go to my mobile view and say, okay, I want this on mobile to shrink a little bit. So maybe on mobile, I want it to be 10% width, right? And then you can always look at how your documents look and then go from there. So, the Inhouz sign builder lets you do dynamic or responsive, rather responsive documents. Let's just keep that in mind. All right, that's it for this video on Inhouz Sign forms. If you want to really go in depth into form elements, you can watch the app builder videos where we go deep into form elements. But one thing you need to know is that you can drag and drop form elements. You can assign those to a role, and it's all connected to your app data, right? This is another concept that you can learn in deeper detail by watching the app builder video series. All right, so that's it for this video. See you in the next one.